Chapter 9: The Festival of Unity. The defeat of the Shadow Weaver brought a renewed sense of peace and optimism to Elysia. The realms began to rebuild and heal, their once fragile unity now solidified by the bravery and determination of the Keepers of the Crystal. In honor of their heroic deeds and the restoration of balance, the Great Council declared a grand celebration, the Festival of Unity. This festival would bring together beings from all corners of Elysia, celebrating their diversity and strength. Preparations for the festival began immediately. Each realm contributed their unique talents and resources to create a magnificent event. The elves crafted intricate decorations from enchanted wood and shimmering crystals. The dwarves forged beautiful sculptures and sturdy pavilions. The nymphs created stunning water displays, and the sages organized knowledge-sharing sessions and magical performances. The Citadel's central plaza, the site of the festival, transformed into a vibrant tapestry of colors, lights, and music. As the festival approached, Aiden and his companions found themselves both excited and humbled by the outpouring of gratitude and joy from the people of Elysia. They had been invited to play key roles in the festivities, with each member of the team being recognized for their unique contributions to the recent victories. On the morning of the festival, the air was filled with anticipation. The Citadel's plaza was bustling with activity as last-minute preparations were completed. Stalls offering exotic foods and crafts from every realm lined the streets, while stages for performances and competitions were set up in various locations. A grand platform had been erected in the center of the plaza, where the keepers and the council would address the gathered crowd. Aiden awoke early, feeling a mix of excitement and responsibility. As the leader of the keepers, he knew that this festival was not just a celebration, but also an opportunity to strengthen the bonds of unity that they had fought so hard to create. He donned his ceremonial robes, the fabric shimmering with threads of gold and silver, and made his way to the central platform where Eldrin and the other council members were already gathered. The festival began with a parade, showcasing the rich cultures and histories of the various realms. Elves performed graceful dances, their movements synchronized with the rhythm of ancient songs. Dwarves displayed feats of strength and skill, wielding their hammers and axes with precision. Nymphs created mesmerizing water sculptures that danced in the sunlight, while the sages demonstrated spells and enchantments that left the crowd in awe. As the parade concluded, Eldrin stepped forward to address the crowd. His voice, amplified by magic, carried across the plaza. Today we celebrate not only our victory over darkness, but the unity and resilience of our people. The Keepers of the Crystal have shown us that through cooperation and trust, we can overcome any challenge. Let this festival be a reminder of our shared strength and a beacon of hope for the future. The crowd erupted in cheers as Eldrin finished his speech. Next, it was Aiden's turn to speak. He stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment, but also the support of his companions and the people of Elysia. We stand here today, united by our triumphs and our trials. Each of us has played a part in restoring balance to our world. Let this festival be a testament to what we can achieve together. The light of Elysia shines brightly because of all of you. Thank you for your courage, your strength, and your unwavering spirit. As Aiden's words echoed through the plaza, the applause was deafening. The festival then shifted into full swing, with various events and activities for everyone to enjoy. Aiden and his companions moved through the crowd, participating in games, sampling the diverse cuisines, and engaging with the people they had sworn to protect. Celine, ever the skilled rogue, took part in a stealth competition where participants had to navigate a maze filled with obstacles and hidden traps. Her agility and cunning earned her first place, much to the delight of the spectators. Ilara shared her knowledge of healing and nature magic with eager students, conducting workshops that highlighted the importance of balance and respect for the natural world. Lyra showcased her archery skills in a tournament, her arrows hitting targets with unerring accuracy. Thorn participated in a series of strength challenges, his impressive feats drawing cheers from the crowd. Each keeper, in their own way, contributed to the festival's success, embodying the values of unity and cooperation. As evening fell, the plaza was bathed in the warm glow of lanterns and magical lights. The highlight of the festival was the Unity Ceremony, a symbolic act to reinforce the bonds between the realms. A large bonfire was lit in the center of the plaza, its flames representing the shared spirit of Elysia. Representatives from each realm stepped forward, adding their unique elements to the fire: an elven branch, a dwarven oar, a nymph's shell, and a sage's scroll. Aiden, holding the eternal crystal, approached the fire and placed the crystal at its heart. The flames blazed brighter, casting a radiant light that seemed to reach the farthest corners of Elysia. The unity ceremony was followed by a grand feast and a night of music and dance. The keepers, now free from the immediate pressures of battle and duty, allowed themselves to relax and enjoy the festivities. They danced with the people, shared stories of their adventures, and forged new friendships. As the night drew to a close, Aiden found himself standing at the edge of the plaza, looking out over the joyful crowd. Celine joined him, a rare smile on her usually serious face. "We did it, Aiden," she said softly. "We brought them hope." Aiden nodded, feeling in a deep sense of satisfaction. "We did it together," he replied, "and we'll keep doing it. As long as we stand united, there's nothing we can't overcome." The Festival of Unity was more than just a celebration, it was a reaffirmation of the strength and resilience of Elysia's people. The bonds forged in the heat of battle and the light of hope would endure, guiding them through whatever challenges lay ahead. The keepers of the crystal, heroes and guardians, knew that their journey was far from over, but they also knew that as long as they stood together, their light would never fade. Chapter 10: Shadows of the Past. The Festival of Unity had brought joy and renewed strength to the realms of Elysia, but the keepers of the crystal knew their responsibilities were far from over. As life returned to normal, Aiden, Celine, Elara, Lyra, Thorn, and their allies continued to monitor the realms for any signs of danger. Their vigilance soon proved necessary when troubling reports began to surface from the remote region of Arcanos. Arcanos, a rugged land known for its ancient ruins and mysterious aura, had long been a place of legend and myth. It was said that the region held secrets from a time before the Eternal Crystal, secrets that many had sought but few had survived to tell. The recent reports indicated strange occurrences: entire villages disappearing overnight, eerie lights in the sky, and an unshakable feeling of dread spreading among the inhabitants. The council convened to discuss the situation. Eldrin, the wise leader of the council, expressed his concern. "The reports from Arcanos are troubling. We cannot ignore the possibility that these disturbances are related to a deeper, more ancient power. We need to investigate and ensure that whatever is causing this is dealt with swiftly." Aiden volunteered to lead the investigation. "Arcanos has always been shrouded in mystery, but we cannot let fear paralyze us. We must uncover the truth and protect our people." The keepers prepared for their journey to Arcanos, knowing that this mission might be one of their most challenging yet. They gathered supplies, consulted ancient texts, and spoke with sages who had studied the region's history. The more they learned, the clearer it became that Arcanos was a place where the boundaries between the known and the unknown blurred, where ancient magic still lingered in the air. As they set out, the keepers traveled through diverse landscapes, from lush forests to barren plains, each step bringing them closer to the enigmatic region of Arcanos. The journey was long and arduous, but their determination never wavered. They encountered villagers fleeing the area, their faces etched with fear and despair. These encounters only strengthened the keepers' resolve to uncover the truth and restore peace. Upon reaching the borders of Arcanos, the air grew noticeably colder, and an unsettling silence enveloped the land. The once bustling villages lay abandoned, their structures eerily intact but devoid of life. The keepers pressed on, guided by the faint magical signatures that seemed to emanate from the heart of the region. Their path led them to an ancient temple, half buried in the rugged terrain. The temple's entrance was adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of an ancient civilization, long forgotten by time. As they stepped inside, they were greeted by a dimly lit corridor that seemed to stretch on endlessly. The air was thick with the scent of old magic, a testament to the temple's long history. Deeper within the temple, they discovered a vast chamber, its walls covered in faded murals and glyphs. At the center of the chamber stood an imposing altar, upon which lay a dark, pulsating crystal. Aiden approached cautiously, his senses alert to any sign of danger. The crystal exuded a malevolent energy, a stark contrast to the pure light of the eternal crystal. As they examined the crystal, Elysia deciphered the glyphs on the walls. These glyphs tell the story of an ancient sorcerer, Xandros, who sought to harness the power of the abyss. He created this dark crystal to amplify his magic, but it ultimately consumed him. It seems his spirit was bound to the crystal, and its power has been growing unchecked for centuries. Aiden frowned. If this crystal is the source of the disturbances in Arcanos, we need to find a way to neutralize it. But we must proceed with caution. This place is steeped in dark magic, and any rash actions could have catastrophic consequences. As they deliberated, a shadowy figure emerged from the depths of the chamber. The figure, draped in tattered robes, seemed to be a spectral remnant of Xandros himself. His hollow eyes glowed with a malevolent light, and his voice echoed through the chamber. "You dare to trespass in my domain? You cannot hope to defeat the power of the abyss." Aiden stepped forward, his voice steady. "We seek to restore balance to Elysia. Your time has long passed, Xandros. Surrender the crystal and let your spirit find peace." Xandros laughed, a sound devoid of any warmth or humanity. "Peace? There is no peace for me, only eternal darkness. If you wish to challenge me, then you shall face the full might of the abyss." The chamber erupted into chaos as Xandros unleashed his dark magic. Shadows swirled around the keepers, forming into monstrous shapes that attacked from all directions. Aiden and his companions fought back, their combined magic and skills pushing against the tide of darkness. Aiden's light magic clashed with Xandros' shadowy spells, creating a dazzling display of opposing forces. Celine, using her agility and precision, struck at the shadows with her daggers, each strike dispelling the dark forms. Elysia summoned nature's power, vines and roots emerging from the temple floor to entangle and restrain the spectral enemies. Lyra's arrows, infused with magical energy, pierced through the shadows, disrupting their cohesion. Thorn, wielding his mighty axe, shattered the dark constructs with powerful swings. Despite their efforts, Xandros' power seemed limitless. His dark crystal fed off the ambient magic, growing stronger with each passing moment. Aiden realized they needed to sever Xandros' connection to the crystal to stand a chance. He called out to Elysia, "We need to weaken the crystal's power. Can you disrupt its connection to the abyss?" Elysia nodded, her eyes focused with determination. "I'll need a moment to prepare the spell. Keep him distracted." Aiden and the others redoubled their efforts, forming a protective barrier around Elysia as she began her incantation. Her hands moved gracefully, weaving a complex spell that targeted the dark crystal's core. As she chanted, the air around her shimmered with green and gold light, a stark contrast to the oppressive darkness. Xandros, sensing the threat, intensified his attacks. The shadows grew more aggressive, and the chamber shook with the force of his magic. Aiden pushed his own magic to its limits, creating beams of light that cut through the darkness. Celine, Lyra, and Thorn fought valiantly, holding the line and protecting Elysia from harm. Finally, Elysia's spell reached its climax. With a final, powerful incantation, she unleashed a wave of natural energy that struck the dark crystal. The crystal pulsed violently, cracks forming along its surface as its connection to the abyss was disrupted. Xandros let out a howl of rage and pain, his spectral form flickering. Aiden seized the moment. Channeling the combined power of the eternal crystal and the unity of his companions, he directed a beam of pure light at the dark crystal. The crystal shattered with a deafening roar, its fragments disintegrating into dust. Xandros' form wavered, his power dissipating with the crystal's destruction. With one final, anguished scream, Xandros' spirit was pulled into the void, leaving the chamber in an eerie silence. The oppressive darkness lifted, replaced by a calm, soothing light. The keepers, exhausted but triumphant, stood together, their bonds stronger than ever. As they exited the temple, the sun began to rise, casting its warm glow over Arcanos. The land, once shrouded in fear and mystery, began to heal. Villagers who had fled returned, their faces filled with hope and gratitude. The keepers had not only defeated an ancient evil but had also restored peace and balance to a troubled region. Back at the citadel, the council and the people of Elysia welcomed the keepers as heroes once more. Eldrin praised their bravery and wisdom. You have faced the shadows of the past and emerged victorious. Your actions have shown that unity and light can overcome even the darkest of evils. Aiden, standing before the gathered crowd, felt a deep sense of fulfillment. They had faced incredible challenges and emerged stronger for it. The Keepers of the Crystal had proven once again that their unity was their greatest strength. As they looked toward the future, they knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, guided by the light they had sworn to protect. The chapter of Arcanos had come to a close, but the story of the Keepers of the Crystal was far from over. New adventures and challenges awaited them, and with their unwavering spirit and unbreakable bonds, they were ready to face whatever the future held. Chapter 11: The Whispering Woods. Following the triumph in Arcanos, the Keepers of the Crystal enjoyed a brief respite, their spirits lifted by the gratitude of the people and the knowledge that their efforts had brought peace to Elysia. However, their time of rest was short-lived. Disturbing rumors began to circulate about the Whispering Woods, a mystical forest on the western edge of Elysia, known for its enchantments and secrets. The Whispering Woods had always been a place of wonder and mystery, its trees whispering ancient secrets to those who dared to listen. The forest was home to myriad magical creatures and ancient spirits, its depths rarely explored even by the bravest. Recently, however, the whispers had turned ominous, speaking of a dark presence that had begun to corrupt the forest. Travelers reported that the once peaceful woods had become a place of fear and danger, with many who ventured inside never returning. Eldrin called upon the keepers to investigate these ominous developments. The Whispering Woods have always been a sanctuary of magic and peace, he said gravely. If a dark force has taken root there, it threatens not only the forest but all of Elysia. We must uncover the source of this corruption and put an end to it. Aiden and his companions set out immediately, their resolve steeled by the knowledge that the balance of Elysia once again rested in their hands. As they approached the forest, the air grew cooler and the light took on an eerie, greenish hue. The trees, ancient and towering, seemed to lean in, their whispers now filled with warnings and cries for help. The keepers entered the Whispering Woods cautiously, their senses heightened. The forest floor was covered in a thick carpet of moss, and strange, luminescent fungi cast an otherworldly glow. The air was thick with magic, but it felt tainted, as if a malevolent force had seeped into the very essence of the woods. As they ventured deeper, they encountered creatures twisted by dark magic. Once gentle woodland beings now appeared as grotesque, aggressive monsters. The keepers fought their way through, their determination unwavering. Aiden's light magic proved invaluable, dispelling the shadows that clung to the creatures and revealing their true forms. Elara's connection to nature allowed her to communicate with the forest spirits, seeking guidance and aid. In the heart of the forest, they discovered a clearing dominated by an ancient, gnarled tree. This tree, larger than any they had seen, seemed to be the source of the corruption. Its bark was blackened and cracked, and a dark, viscous substance oozed from its roots. The whispers here were almost deafening, filled with anguish and despair. As they approached the tree, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a woman, her form wreathed in darkness, her eyes glowing with a malevolent light. She introduced herself as Nyxara, a sorceress who had once been a guardian of the forest, but had turned to dark magic in a quest for power. "Welcome, Keepers of the Crystal," Nyxara said, her voice dripping with contempt. "You are too late. The Whispering Woods are mine, and soon, all of Elysia will follow." Aiden stepped forward, his expression resolute. "Nyxara, you've corrupted this place of beauty and peace. We won't allow you to spread your darkness any further." Nyxara laughed, a cold, mirthless sound. "You think you can stop me? The power of the forest is mine to command." With a wave of her hand, Nyxara summoned the corrupted spirits of the forest. These spirits, once protectors of the woods, now served her twisted will. They attacked with relentless fury, their forms shifting between shadow and substance. The battle that ensued was fierce, with the keepers fighting not just to defeat Nyxara but to save the spirits she had enslaved. Aiden, channeling the light of the eternal crystal, engaged Nyxara directly. Their magical energies clashed, creating a brilliant display of light and dark. Aiden's magic, fueled by the hope and unity of his companions, began to push back Nyxara's darkness. Meanwhile, Selene used her agility to outmaneuver the corrupted spirits, striking them down with swift, precise blows. Elara, sensing the pain of the forest spirits, focused her efforts on freeing them from Nyxara's control. She called upon the ancient magic of the woods, her voice a soothing balm to the tormented spirits. Slowly, the spirits began to break free of Nyxara's influence, turning against their former mistress. Lyra and Thorn fought side by side, their combined strength and skill creating an impenetrable defense. Lyra's arrows found their mark with unerring accuracy, while Thorn's mighty axe cleaved through the shadows. Together, they protected Elara as she worked to heal the forest. As the battle raged on, Nyxara grew more desperate. "You cannot defeat me," she screamed, her form flickering with unstable energy. "The darkness is eternal." Aiden, his eyes blazing with determination, replied, "No darkness can withstand the light of unity and hope." With a final, powerful burst of magic, Aiden directed the full force of the eternal crystal's light at Nyxara. The light enveloped her, purging the darkness from her form. Nyxara let out a piercing scream as the dark energy was torn from her, and she collapsed, her power broken. The ancient tree, freed from Nyxara's corruption, began to heal. The blackened bark regained its natural hue, and the dark ooze retreated into the earth. The forest, once tainted by darkness, was filled with a warm, golden light. The spirits of the forest, now free, surrounded the keepers, their whispers filled with gratitude and relief. Elara approached Nyxara's fallen form. "There is still a chance for redemption," she said softly. "The forest can heal you, just as it heals itself." Nyxara, her strength fading, looked up with tear-filled eyes. "I was blinded by my desire for power. I see now the pain I have caused. Please, help me." Elara nodded, her expression compassionate. She and Aiden worked together to channel the healing magic of the forest into Nyxara. The sorceress's wounds began to mend, her form stabilizing as the darkness was cleansed from her soul. With the threat neutralized, the keepers took a moment to rest and reflect. They had once again faced a formidable foe and emerged victorious, their unity and determination proving stronger than any dark magic. The Whispering Woods, now free from corruption, would heal and flourish, its ancient magic restored. As they prepared to leave the forest, the spirits whispered their thanks, promising to protect and nurture the woods. The keepers knew that their journey was far from over, but they were heartened by the knowledge that they had once again safeguarded Elysia. Returning to the citadel, they were met with praise and gratitude. Eldrin, ever wise and supportive, commended their bravery. "You have faced darkness and emerged victorious. The Whispering Woods are safe once more, thanks to your efforts." Aiden, speaking for his companions, replied, "We will continue to protect Elysia, no matter the challenges we face. Our unity is our greatest strength." As the keepers looked to the future, they knew that their bond would continue to guide them. They had proven time and again that together they could overcome any obstacle. The light of the eternal crystal, fueled by their unity and hope, would continue to shine brightly, protecting Elysia from any darkness that threatened it. Chapter 12: The Dragon's Roar. After their success in the Whispering Woods, the keepers of the crystal enjoyed a brief period of calm. The realms of Elysia were thriving, and the people felt a renewed sense of security and hope. However, the tranquility was soon disrupted by alarming news from the northern mountains. The ancient dragon, Drakthar, had awakened from its long slumber, and its presence threatened to bring devastation to the land. Drakthar was a creature of legend, a being of immense power and wisdom. For centuries it had been the guardian of the northern mountains, ensuring that the balance of nature was maintained. But something had disturbed its rest, causing it to lash out in anger and confusion. Villagers near the mountains reported seeing the dragon's fiery breath lighting up the night sky and hearing its thunderous roars echoing through the valleys. The Great Council convened to address this new threat. Eldrin, with a grave expression, spoke of the dragon's importance and the potential consequences of its wrath. Drakthar is not merely a beast of destruction. It is a guardian of ancient magic and wisdom. We must find out what has disturbed its slumber and seek to calm its rage. If we fail, the devastation could be unimaginable. Aiden and his companions accepted the mission without hesitation. They knew that confronting a dragon was no small task, but their resolve was unshakable. They prepared for the journey with a mix of anticipation and trepidation, gathering supplies and consulting ancient texts about dragons and their lore. Their previous victories had taught them the importance of understanding their adversaries and the land they protected. The journey to the northern mountains was arduous. The terrain grew more rugged and the air colder as they ascended. The beauty of the snow-capped peaks was marred by the sight of scorched earth and smouldering ruins. The closer they got to Drakthar's lair, the more palpable the dragon's presence became. The ground trembled with each of its roars, and the sky seemed to darken with its fury. As they reached the entrance to Drakthar's cave, they found themselves standing before a massive stone archway, its surface etched with runes that glowed faintly. The cave was vast and dark, with the occasional flicker of firelight casting eerie shadows on the walls. The air was thick with the scent of sulfur and the weight of ancient magic. Entering the cave, the keepers moved cautiously, their senses alert for any sign of danger. The path led them deeper into the mountain, and the temperature rose steadily, the heat from Drakthar's fiery breath creating an oppressive atmosphere. Finally, they emerged into a colossal chamber, its ceiling lost in the darkness above. In the center of the chamber lay Drakthar, a magnificent and terrifying sight. The dragon's scales shimmered with a deep, molten red, and its eyes burned with an intense, golden light. Drakthar's voice rumbled through the chamber, a mixture of anger and pain. "Who dares enter my domain? You seek to challenge me, to disturb my rest further." Aiden stepped forward, his voice calm but firm. "We come not to challenge you, Drakthar, but to understand what has caused your unrest. The balance of Elysia depends on your wisdom and protection. Please, tell us what has happened." Drakthar's eyes narrowed, and for a moment, the chamber was silent, except for the dragon's heavy breathing. Then, with a low growl, Drakthar began to speak. "I have guarded these mountains for centuries, ensuring that the ancient magic remains in balance. But recently, a dark force has begun to seep into this land, disturbing my slumber and corrupting the magic I protect. It is a force I have not felt in millennia, one that seeks to undo the very fabric of our world." The keepers exchanged worried glances. Another ancient evil had awoken, threatening the delicate balance of Elysia. Aiden addressed Drakthar again. "We have faced many dark forces and emerged victorious. If you can guide us to the source of this corruption, we will do everything in our power to eliminate it and restore the balance." Drakthar studied the keepers, his gaze piercing. "Very well, but know this: the path ahead is fraught with danger. The source of this corruption lies deep within the heart of the mountains, in a place where even I dare not tread lightly. It is a place of shadows and ancient curses, a place known as the Abyssal Hollow." With Drakthar's guidance, the keepers set off towards the Abyssal Hollow. The journey took them through treacherous terrain and deep caverns filled with ancient traps and dark magic. The air grew colder, and the sense of foreboding intensified with each step. They encountered creatures twisted by the corruption, their forms monstrous and their minds consumed by darkness. Each battle tested their strength and resolve, but the keepers pressed on, their determination unwavering. As they neared the Abyssal Hollow, they felt the full weight of the dark force that had disturbed Drakthar's rest. The entrance to the hollow was a massive chasm, its depths shrouded in impenetrable darkness. The air was thick with malevolent energy, and whispers of ancient curses echoed around them. Descending into the Abyssal Hollow, the keepers found themselves in a labyrinth of dark tunnels and eerie chambers. The walls were covered in strange runes and symbols, pulsating with dark energy. At the heart of the hollow, they discovered a large, ominous altar upon which lay a black crystal, similar to the one they had encountered in Arcanos, but much more powerful. Ilara examined the crystal, her face pale. This crystal is a conduit for dark magic, feeding off the ambient energy of the mountains and amplifying it. It must be destroyed to stop the corruption.